Так, ну я думаю, хватит продолжить, хотя я не помню, ничего нигде остановился и делаю. Ага. И что здесь? Секунду. А, мы пришли к нему, чтобы попиздеть?
Yes?
𝔻𝕚𝕪𝕤𝕚𝕤𝕚𝕤 And
А, а,
fascinating. The 𝔻𝕚𝕪𝕤𝕚𝕤𝕚 shows signs of racial self-reflection. How did you accomplish this little feat? So it would seem, Thrall of Rule. I find myself at a crossroads. On one hand, this pathetic self-therapy has little, and, of course, you will not be able to free yourself from the yoke of rule. It is too late. It may be lethal to stop.
Your willpower fires up, directing you to speak.
а ну, сейчас я крошки нахуй ебучие выкину отсюда. Говорю, крошки нахуй выкину.
If the 𝔻𝕚𝕪𝕤𝕚𝕚 is capable of critical thought, he may still prove a race adversary. Why should I help my adversary?
Jean, baby. Do the heroic thing.
That is not possible. The game of Shahmat you play against the rules tricks is unwinnable. The days, the weeks, the months will wear you out. The Occidental Group is incapable. You will not. You cannot withstand the wasteland of reality.
Вроде шлюз в среду, а сегодня что? Так. Временный бонус за исследование. -2 грубая сила бессонницы. Ага.
It's super hard, Jean. My mom couldn't do it either.
Very well. You may enter once. Our conversation here has concluded.
Окей.
Well done. Let's go.
The unpromising race pupil return.
А, а куда идти-то? Стоп, чё? Куда я должен идти? Куда он меня пропустил? Я что-то туплю. А, сюда? Погоди. Выйти под караоке. А сегодня ты чё? Вторник, наверное, сегодня.
The front of this quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait of the late King 𝔻𝕬𝕤𝕤. From the sides of his head, a pair of white antlers spread to the corners of the cover. Because white antlers are one of the symbols of communism, they represent a society in accord with the natural world and at the same time above it.
Точно коммунизм, а не национал-социализм. По-моему, перепутал.
Because 𝔻𝕬𝕤 was incompetent, foolish, and cruel. In short, the embodiment of everything the To your disappointment, there aren't any full-color pictures to direct your attention. Just column after rifling the pages with your thumb several times, the magazine is divided into several sections. International developments. 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕚𝕤𝕚 Comrade, as you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, Du cristal à la fumée. This was, but like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going à la fumée, unlike many publications which, so please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today. Yours in struggle, the editors.
Секундочку, о май гад, подождите. У меня ёбаная салфетка. Ёбаный тварь, блядь. Угу.
What do you expect? It was laying around the office of the Debarders Union. They're probably bankrolling the thing.
You flip back to the front of the magazine, the table of contents. This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round. You also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smuggling. Face it, you really aren't interested in foreign affairs. You're not even sure. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table, it takes a moment, but gradually it dawns on you that 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕚𝕤𝕚 must mean it evokes a sense of recognition and fellowship among those privileged enough to As you leaf through this section, you come across several reviews of recent radio plays. The main feature, though, is a long essay titled 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕚𝕤𝕚, a critical... The 𝔻𝕻𝕚𝕤𝕚𝕤 is an inter-Isometric racing series, mostly known for its high speeds, ludicrous sponsorship deals, and high death toll. In Revachol, it's held quadrennially on the prestigious Zero Carousel racing circuit. You think you're settling in for a relaxing recap of the most recent season, maybe sprinkled with some nice anecdotes about a few of the more colorful drivers.
А этот водитель, это не гонщики же.
Instead, you find yourself skimming a 10,000-word feature about all the politically problematic aspects of 𝔻𝕚𝕚𝕤𝕚. Where to even start? For one, there's the crass commercialism of its sponsorships. So, all of it, basically. And that precisely is what's problematic about it. Were it not for the promise of random, spectacular violence, audiences would quickly lose interest. At the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 750,000 real races that you're really watching for. You see, one cannot avoid the conclusion that 𝔻𝕚𝕚𝕤𝕚𝕚 is simply the apotheosis of spectacular entertainment under capitalism.
I can safely say the thought had never crossed my mind, Detective. I'm sure most things are, if the young men who wrote this article are to be believed. If I had to wager, I'd say they've never even seen the inside of a motor, much less a motor race. I take whatever they write with a large grain of salt.
Как это? Секундочку. 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 Вот эти. Так, ну что?
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds. Unsurprisingly, much of this section is taken up with articles declaring unqualified support for the dock workers' strike. You skim the headlines. Paint the harbour red and white. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, 𝔻𝕚𝕪𝕤𝕚, accusing the owner of the Capeside apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent. One of the editorials proclaims that the more the forces of reaction attempt to crush the body, the more defiant the spirit of communism becomes. You flip back to the front of the magazine.
Окей. Это что? Ок. Снова на автомат. Ой. Ну хватит улетать, ёбаная тварь.
On second glance, someone has forgotten to properly close one of the drawers.
Да?
It's unfortunate for the Union to just leave their paperwork.
Let's see what's inside, he thinks. The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organized selection of hundreds of documents containing logistical data. Two kinds of transactions stand out. Materials coming into Revachol from the outside world, from Muindi, Grad, and even 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤𝕚. And the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol, Kuron, Coal City, La Delta, and Jamrock are listed among the many. It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry. Whatever's hidden here is hidden well. Concentration isn't enough. Only a trained accountant with a background in logistics would be able to really make sense of it. However, there is a little handwritten note stuck on the side of the drawer. It appears to be a to-do list written in large, uneven capital letters. Remember, Leo, Everard's shoes, special whirling borscht, water Everard's plants, sweep office floor,
Обувь
more
Эврара, особый борщ в танцах, полить растения Эврара, принести в офис еще плакаты.
All items on the list have been crossed out and the note itself is crumpled.
Everard Clare, probably. The head of the Debarders Union. One of his aides must have left it. Nothing incriminating.
The special borscht seems a bit odd in the list. Remember, Leo, Everard's shoes, special whirling borscht, water Everard's plants, sweep office floor, more banners. All items on the list have been crossed out. The drawer slides shut.
Секунду. Видео, серьезно? Так, что дальше? Визуальный анализ плюс драма. Глаз алмаз. Не хватает выразительности. Ну, самая драма. Драма это... Драма. А тут вообще есть? Есть. Видите, но не давайте обмануть себя. Угу. Визуальный анализ. Интересно. Я же не могу здесь камеру вертеть, да, по-моему, в этой игре? Я забыл управление. Страницы персонажа, движение. Выделить все, я понял. Что? Так здесь больше нет нихуя.
An imposing combination of a punch clock and a payphone is looking down at you from the wall. A note on the side says, "Tokens unavailable due to strike. Use change." The machine swallows your coin and seems to be waiting for your next move.
Набрать случайный номер. Пожалуйста, пожалуйста.
It's unclear
Блять.
whether you actually have muscle memory. Right now, your finger is just drawing vaguely occult patterns in the air. Undoubtedly, no.
Ну, сука.
Sure, why not? Muscle memory is a tricky thing. The already familiar code.
Ну, обидно. Прикинь, я кому-нибудь позвонил, попиздел бы с кем-нибудь. Так. Что у нас тут? Ким?
Yes?
Не, ничего.
Looks like someone left his tarpaulin cloak hanging on the railing here. The white rectangle of the Revachol Citizens Militia is clearly visible on it. This is your cloak. You can feel it.
А,
Yes. It does bear the Elysium insignia.
что?
We're the only detectives in Martinez. The service cloak issued to you by your station? Yes, yes, I do.
As your fingers touch the tarpaulin, it almost feels like the cloak wants to deliver. I will shield you from the elements and give my life for yours. That's what the cloak is.
Блять, что за хуйня? А, полицейский... Я не вижу, что написано. Чё? Почему я не вижу, что написано? 𝔻𝕚𝕬𝕤𝕤. Ну-ка, секунду. Свой район. А это что у меня? Так точно. Внушение и сумрак. Внушение. Очаровывайте мужчин и женщин. Вы кукловод. Это хорошо. Внушение и сумрак. Так. Доверьте своему телу, запугивайте людей. Ага. А это -1 сумрак. Трепет, знай свой район и полицейская волна. Трепет и полицейская волна. Ок. Трепет, почувствуйте дрожь. Настройтесь на городскую волну. Что? А полицейская волна? В смысле? Чего? Возвращение на улицу. Полицейская волна. Я, может, шары долблюсь? Вот она, конечно, долблюсь. Тут первый участок навеки в вашем сердце, как полицейская культура. Охуенно. И что это? Отлично подойдет копам. Это я, фанат копов. Я... Опа. Ну вот я на человека уже похож. Ключи. Правая рука. Патроны я стрелять могу. Ну чё, как я выгляжу?
Yes?
Заебись, я знаю. Блин, я бы отключил на самом деле. Верите? Или подожди, что это? Ага. Э, 550. Да похуй, короче. Эх. Подожди, давай сюда сходим.
This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕚𝕤.
If you must. But please hurry. We are pretty easy to spot up here.
Nothing incriminating catches your eye. The cabinets are clean and their sparse contents meticulously organized. There's a framed photograph on the table.
Я бы забрал, если честно.
It's a black and white photo of a young couple out in a street fair. The man, René, is dressed in a Royal Carabinieri uniform. The girl is young and very pretty. René looks like he's about to smile. This photo must be tied to some good memory.
Why did you take that picture of René? You're really interested in that old soldier. Not sure I understand your fascination, but sure, as long as it doesn't take up a whole lot of time.
Бля, я только что сейчас понял, что мне нужно сделать. Вот это. Мне нужно его прикупить. Не его, в смысле, а держатель для телефона. Ой, а что произошло? Подожди, а почему у меня... А почему игра-то уехала нахуй? Чё, бля? Сейчас, почему у меня окно нахуй уехало с экрана, блядь? Tools. Или где здесь? Settings. Тут. System tray. Сейчас я должен найти, где это. Advanced. Блядь. А я не ебу, где это может быть. Прилипание. Может, это каждому лог превью. Preview scaling. Во. Центр to центр. Все, заебумба. Подожди, а я его подвигать могу, если что? Да, могу. Окей, тогда трансформ. Центр to центр. Ну. Ага. Так вот. Теперь проверим 4К. Да, все отлично. Окей. Как, блин, называется это хуйня? Держать телефоны нахуй. Какие-то геймпады ебучие. Нет, фигурка подставка. Блять, все равно не то. Сейчас, секунду. И чтобы не забыть, вот так вот. Вот так вот. Бля. Ой, какая хуета, блядь. Ну просто пиздец. Работать.
This is the night walk.
Сутрело. Сюда мы не можем, да? Окей. А как сюда тогда попасть? Бля, охуенно. Мы, по идее... Где-то здесь. Или нет.
A rusting control panel with several knobs. 2 buttons marked Marsh and Arrête are faded with use. It seems to control the large crane above. A container is attached to its hook block. 𝔻𝕻𝕤𝕤𝕤 on, 𝔻𝕻𝕤𝕤𝕤 off.
Я пока ничего не буду ждать. Я, кажется, извиняюсь. А почему все так... Давай-ка я перезайду в игру. Мне что-то это не нравится. Сейчас наебнется еще. Так. Ага, все равно есть лаги какие-то непонятные. Чаткет фаун серии ультра. Сумрак. А у меня перчатки какие? Техника. Сумрак это запугивайте людей, а техника, ну я так понял. Эти механизмы, вскрывайте замки и обчищайте карманы. Та-да! Ладно, давай тогда сходим сюда.
A rusting control panel. 𝔻𝕻𝕤𝕤𝕤 on, 𝔻𝕻𝕤𝕤𝕤 with a loud grind. The crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air.
Так. Охуенно.
And with a surprisingly quiet thump. The harbor sleeps as the strike rages in the distance. The crane can rest again, now that it's moving this container, of course. For this purpose,
I can't see how that was worth the wreckers, except for seeing the crane in action, which I admit was satisfying.
Давай поднимем тебя. Нет, стой. Давай мы к нему сходим.
before you stands a cargo container, just one of many in the yard.
И мне кажется, это необычный контейнер. Ой.
Is this like your thing with that wall again? You do? Because I don't. There are a million containers here. Why are you fixating on this one? There may very well be, but we are not here to look for that.
Да ты чё? Давай посмотрим.
We are not here to interact with containers. We are here to talk to the Union, right?
No reply. No reply. No reply. No reply. You attempt to turn the handle, to no avail. The doors seem to be mechanically locked. To your left, the lieutenant considers your actions with some puzzlement. You're back before the cargo. You attempt to turn the handle, to no avail.
Запорный
To your left,
механизм.
the lieutenant.
Но у меня же в руках.
You're back before you attempt to
Да,
your left.
бля. Пусть будет. И что там? Здрасте. У вас огромный рыбу-меч.
Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see. With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply stares at you.
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat. I'm Everard Clare, head of the Debarders Union here in Martinez. I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand?
Ты сидишь?
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner, as equals.
It's nothing. Yes, that's probably right. It's nothing. Forget about it. He's trying to throw you off your game with this Dubois nonsense. Don't give him the pleasure.
Very well, Mr. Dubois. I respect a man with strong convictions. I, too, have convictions, one of which is that I will not engage with any man who won't face me at eye level. Should you find yourself more amenable in the future, I'd gladly resume our conversation. But until then, I'm afraid I must ask you to leave.
You're no Titan of Elysium, buddy. He's got you in a fork. Sit down or leave.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another. So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help a representative of...
The chair you're sitting on has got to be
Oh.
the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners, it pains me to say. This should take care of that nonsense. It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
Hey, that's 25 real. That's
No.
good money. Think of all the stuff you could.
А если я возьму, потом мне, может, кто-нибудь воспримет это как одолжение?
Don't mention it, but also don't forget it. I'm just kidding, of course.
Is he? He's not.
Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun.
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. Lost gun. Lost. The world is swallowed by a black
что за
hole
хуйня?
of fear. Only
Что
two
это за уёбок?
words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun.
Are you all right, Harry? You say you got this, but you seem a little anxious to me. Don't be. It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be all right.
God, you're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to cry because you lost your gun and those children are gonna shoot themselves with it. You want to cry? God, you're weak. Whatever you do, don't...
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good.
What is this, Mr. Dubois, he keeps repeating? What is he trying to pull here?
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry! Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or something?
Maybe you could use your hands somehow, in a kind of throw-in motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois.
Don't be dramatic. I can see your condition isn't terminal.
What an odd demonstration of... you got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was, I'm afraid we're wasting our time. And I'm an extremely busy man, as I'm sure...
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him questions. Police officer questions. It is about time to stop embarrassing yourself. Questions will help you regain some of your lost dignity.
My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbor. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them. Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you.
Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should at least try convincing it.
Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. I hope you're getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corp. Yes, we're all trying to do what's best for 𝔻𝕝𝕤𝕤. Don't feel like you shouldn't work with her just because you and I are such good friends. I'm not a jealous guy. Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here. Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait. When she got back, the whole thing was over.
Wait, there was no mention of a casserole from Joyce.
Harry, Harry, Harry. Do not fixate on this little matter. Maybe it was a rabbit stew, or a hairdryer, or...
This particular brand of humor he has, it makes for... If it's spilled blood you're looking for, then there certainly isn't any in his expression or demeanor now.
Yes, yes. Low-balling, of course. This isn't a casino, Harry. Real people, real livelihoods are at stake here. But everything's a casino.
His expression makes it clear. This is childish and irresponsible behavior.
If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have...
He doesn't want to see her. It's as simple as that.
What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. I let him go. He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. God knows how long he's got left. Harry, I have little people in my organization. I would never call someone a midget. Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. I'm only kidding. Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything. 𝔻𝕝𝕤𝕤 doesn't mind.
It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her right now.
Of course. Let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me 𝔻𝕝𝕤𝕤, I call you Harry. My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? What are the odds of that?
I think the odds of that are very low.
It might be a good idea to hide your confusion. I mean, see what his game is first.
So good to hear that, Harry. Apparently my sources were wrong. However, if you did have a spot of memory trouble, I could help you out with my big fat folder.
Words flow like a river of honey from his lips. I guess word has already reached him. No matter. No.
Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents?
Mr. 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤𝕤, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now.
Don't just jump to the folder. That's not smart. Shows you're on the edge. Do some probing first.
It's Harry. Harry Dubois.
Меня зовут Рафаэль Кусто.
Fine, Harry. You can even be Harry Raphael Dubois. Mr. Kitsuragi doesn't seem even slightly empathetic to your memory loss, Harry. However... But of course, Harry. Your precinct is the 41st and you live in Jamrock. You're a Jamrock boy.
He doesn't really seem to know any more about it.
Family? Harry, you're not a family man. There's not one peep of family in here. Unless you think you're a family man. Do you strike yourself as a family man, Harry? Well, yes. I'm sure you're going to make one little boy or a girl very happy and proud one day, Harry. Well, Harry, if I were to sum you up in one word, it would be apologetic. Yes, you seem to be, a lot of the time, but right now there's no reason to be. Let loose a little. Be you. Ah, this? My friends in your organization gave it to me, Harry.
This translates into, haha, you...
I find that very suspicious. May I have a look?
I'm afraid this is meant for Union eyes only, Mr. Kitsuragi. I'm sure you understand. Please continue, Harry.
As you look at the folder, Everard covers it with his hand and pets it. He's hiding it from you because it's not a real RCM folder. It's just another one of those brown folders you saw in...
Okay, Harry, you got me. This is from the Census Bureau, not the RCM. Those Census Bureau people are absolutely corrupt.
He got the name from the Census Bureau, and everything else from your actions here in Martinez.
Yes, Mr. Kitsuragi, from the Census Bureau. Like I said, now I'm actually a very...
That means he doesn't really know anything about you. A pity. The mystery of you will have to remain a mystery for the time.
Блин.
Yes, that's what I said. Try to keep up, okay? Let's move on. Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking kids, grandmas, everyone. Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. It's just a matter of time and effort.
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage.
Yes, thank you for the hot tip regarding your lost gun, Harry. My men have indeed factored in that you pawned it. Now please, let the professionals do their job. Kick back, Harry, relax. I have great guys on this. You focus on what's important. Building our relationship for the good of my...
It did not come as a surprise to him. He might actually not be bullshitting.
Было.
Harry, I was only trying to be tactful. Kids could be playing gun roulette with it as we speak. Teenage gangs could be arming themselves. Get a hold of yourself, Harry.
I assure you we are working on locating the missing sidearm as well.
The lieutenant is concerned about the lost gun and feels that the fact you haven't prioritized looking for it is unfortunate, if inevitable, and
Excellent, Mr. 𝔻𝕚𝕬𝕤𝕤. That's excellent news. Looks like we have... Yes. What's that, Harry? You're getting a little pale. Is it the words paranoid schizophrenic and lost gun in one sentence? Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me. But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open.
Yes, that sounds good. Let's do that.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines, incredibly talented at opening doors.
I'm not sure I understand. If you're asking us to break down someone's door, it's not going to happen.
Come now. I just need you to go open a little door for me and leave it unlocked. A simple thing. Absolutely nothing shady about it.
The stars aligned into a cosmic frown here. He has your fate decided. Bide your time, however, and let the stars continue their course, and that frown shall turn into a smile. Only if you play along.
Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about. A loud blabbering weasel. When we just go there, unlock the door and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. Harry, my dear friend, I am what people call a local bigwig. I know everything that goes on in Martinez. Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly...
You want to send someone a message that the police are...
I repeat, I'm a very, very busy man, Mr. 𝔻𝕚𝕬𝕤𝕤, and therefore I must occasionally enlist... Fantastic, my friend! Just let me know when it's done and we can take our friendship to the next level. You can get the key from Mañana. He's down by the gates. Mañana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hardened socialist. A real free thinker, too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. One last thing, Harry. Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door. Honestly, I didn't want to bring it up, Harry. I heard you have become Measurehead's race pupil.
Ah.
Of course, Harry, of course. You're not some kind of a fantastic racist now, and rest assured, no one's gonna hear about it. No one's gonna know what you did with race there, Harry. Your race bonanza is safe with me. Word of how racy it got will never leave Martinez. Anyway, I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. What? Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any Johnny Fat Guy, but I can't take slander. Are you actually investigating this?
М, Так, отвлекся. А,
Harry, you wound me, Harry, in the heart. But I trust you to put this to bed.
He's hiding his real reaction beneath.
Thank you for your understanding. We will continue to do what we must.
You too, Lieutenant. You know.
None taken. Did we have anything else to do here, Harry?
Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate.
через ворота теперь можно выходить, заебись.
Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white Union man.
Я
Take
тебя
care,
коммунист. Ну так, а что мне по одежде? Драма вместо рубашки, как я понял. Концептуализация. Это у нас что? Концептуализация. Станьте ценителем творчества, развейте чуткость к искусству. Минус одно внушение. Опять не вижу, блядь. А вот. А, я могу вкачать что-нибудь. Прикольно. Сейчас что-нибудь вкачаем. Простите, Рене по фотографии. Надо бы. Необходимо что разблокировать новую ячейку. А я разблокирую. Я ведь не могу теперь тогда прокачать себе стату, да? Вот эту хуйню можно забыть, она мне не нужна. Хотя, это улучшение по 6 до 5 на концептуализацию, по большей части статическая. Для всех прав повышается на 1. Полдома Молдакова. А? На город Заливашоль. Время японских исследований. Минус одно самообладание. Изнуренный националист. Минус одно самообладание. М. Блин. 20 часов. Ладно, пусть будет. Давай вкачаем. Даже не знаю. Хм. Легендарный в Голосе. Ой-ой.
Mr. Dubois, see you soon.
Да ебаный рот. Так. Это чё? Эй, ты кто?
Container, container, I'll turn you nice and red. Container, container, put the logos on.
The lyrics to this container song are being made up, as the accent is so thick it's impossible not to notice he's Ubi, from the vanishing peninsula of
Container, container, used to be Wild Pines. Container, Everard, 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 he looks after everyone. Huh?
The look in his deep blue eyes is as sincere as you've ever seen. Kind of makes you feel like an arsehole for...
I see you are not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you?
Анча?
I mean, I don't personally mind. Folks is just folks, you know, and folks gotta eat. Just some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean, mister. Oh yes, born and raised in Irish, mister. Mum had to leave my dad after he got a bit violent. Took us. People say us Ubies are up to all sorts of trouble with sheep and other animals and whatnot.
Thank you for clarifying that, sir.
Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them. Sure, mister. About what? Oh, most of the guys are down at the gates, keeping the scabs from coming in. We're on a strike. The whole union is. You don't have to.
So no one is working?
Not everyone is down there, of course. But Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble and Everard sent them on a nice vacation. For a week or so. Oh, I'm not really supposed to talk about that. That's union business. Him and his boys stirred up something in town. Probably drank too much and got into a fight or something. I heard Mr. Everard tell—
Don't go all bad cop on this simple, friendly fellow.
No, I don't think they killed anyone. Let's better talk about something else. Titus and his boys do good work. I don't want to get them in trouble over a little drinking.
He probably doesn't know anything anyway. Who in their right mind would tell him?
Yes, yes. Everybody needs a job, and this is mine. I'm Leonard, by the way. Leonard Bellick. But everyone calls me Leo. I'm like Mr. Everett's right-hand man when Mr. Edgar is out of town. And Mr. Edgar's right-hand man when Mr. Everett is away. Actually, Miss Beaufort is the right-hand man, but she's a lady.
She's a lady. Oh, yeah.
Who is this, Miss Beaufort?
A real pretty lady with a skin like those Douai Sucre candy bars my missus likes so much. But I can't listen to the radio all the time. There's so much to do around here, and I'm always busy keeping things running here. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Oh, Lizzie, she is a real sharp tool. Mr. Everett put her through—
He respects that word.
But she's a real nice girl. Grew up in this here neighborhood. Knows everybody and gets along with everyone.
For a fraction of a second, there's sadness in his eyes.
If me missus and me was to have a child, I'd be real happy if she turned out like her. But she can't have kids. Dr. 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤 said so. And she knows about such things. Been a doctor for almost 50 years, she has.
Law school? Could she be talking about the union fixer, aka the gardener?
The gardener.
Looks like it.
I'm not sure what a fixer is, but she's a real nice girl. Smart as a whip, too.
Telling the gardener you know her name might throw her off. Perhaps something to consider later.
Oh, yes, yes. I leave all kinds of notes for myself. That old head of mine ain't so good at keeping things in no more. I almost forgot about the borscht. Oh, yes. I've been taking special whirling borscht to the men every— It's very, very good. Makes a man feel so warm and happy. I feel like I could take on Mr. Renadan's boar dogs every time. Yes, yes. I'm taking it to them. The borscht keeps them happy and in fighting spirits. Makes you all warm inside. They brew it in the whirling in rags. Oh, the whirling's cook. He makes it. Them is always talking with Mr. Manana in that weird language and laughing together. He doesn't speak what we speak. He's from Grad.
А почему ихний повар? Что значит whirlings cook? Whirlings. Интересно, я не знаю, что за слово. Но это, видимо, что-то собственное.
Oh, sure, mister. Sure. You do that.
He didn't actually understand what you meant, and now he's just nodding along.
Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Sure, mister. About what? Oh, that one. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here.
Told you.
Oh, most of the— We're on a—
So
Ой, я не то
No,
выбрал.
but Titus and his boys got into some drunken— Like what, mister? Oh, I'm just making some covers
Блин,
for
не
them
увеличивается.
containers.
Ну-ну-ну.
The
Есть.
containers in the yard are green in wild pine's livery, and the mountains, it's like some red infection was spreading outwards from the container yard's core.
Yes, they are hiding it from the inside. All the red containers have the Debarders Union logo on them.
Угу.
No, not really. Miss Errat doesn't tell me all the big things. Says I go and tell them to everyone. Oh, no trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all. Bye-bye now.
Yes?
Oh. Особый борщ. Ну хорошо, займемся. Так, что дальше? Который час? А, нормально. Мы, наверное, пойдем к контейнеру все-таки. А сюда я не могу. Здесь почему-то лагают текстуры. Открыть я его не смогу,
You're
да?
back before the
Oh.
cargo container.
Убедительно
Door has not
открыться.
lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly. You turn to your left. The lieutenant considers your actions with some
Блин.
puzzlement.
Ну.
Why are you even trying to open a door with rhetoric?
Because what wasn't an option? Now is not the time to get philosophical, detective. We can do that after hours.
Ну как? Ну я хочу посмотреть, что там. Как мы сюда? Окей, тогда как попасть сюда? Блин, что ж это такое?
Snow is quietly covering the numerous wine bottles and cigarette butts on the ground. Someone partied really, really hard. Well, they went through 6 bottles of potent Pilsner, 3 bottles of Commodore Red, and almost 4 packs of...
Well, yes, I think we can say with relative confidence that it was you. I am, but it doesn't matter right now.
Блять, кошмар какой. Как сюда попасть, сука? Сюда он не хочет, да? Никуда сюда нельзя. Интересно, как туда попасть. Блин. Это вообще где-то на заднем дворе. Это не там ли, где вообще труп повешен? Выглядит как так. Так, ну здесь про борщ только если записка.
The file cabinet stepped a drawer.
Ёблан. Подожди, он же мне карту дал. А где я ее использовать-то могу? Ромео, ты меня сюда пропустишь? Сука, тварь какая, блядь. Ну и пошел ты нахуй. Вот, как ты сюда... Интересно.
So, how'd you like our harbor?
You've been in there, he means. Talked to the boss man too. probably.
Полное дерьмо.
It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains. Right. You talk to the boss, eye to eye, like men of the plain. If you have any more questions, I'm set to talk. A key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open? Oh, say no more. I got you. I got that key right here.
Опа.
And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say.
М.
I knew this man was a commie. And it's a good thing you're doing too.
Блять, я до мозга костей чел коммунист,
What
я
you're
тебе
looking
говорю.
for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the welding guards.
Ага.
That's all I know. Our organization is what you call compartmentalized.
Okay, but where did you get the key from?
The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked about life and things that really, truly matter.
Мгм.
None of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling. What's it for? To feed our children, I guess. I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you are, what we are fighting for.
He means he's not going to tell you cause he doesn't know. But he will shoot his mouth off with you now that you're working for Everard.
Ага, вон оно что.
Who he is and what they're fighting for. This is interesting.
Los Ardis? They're an independent, they're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and
Is he actually comparing you, an officer of the law? Come on. He's just trying to keep the peace. The man whispers a jaunty tune. A coastal breeze ruffles his hair.
we're negotiating our share. Aye.
М.
All of it. However, right now we want all the hard.
This seditious talk sounds like communism.
Ну ясен хуй,
Just so
блядь.
we're on the same page. Communism is basically wanting to kill the rich people or deporting them to a labor camp in southeast Grad. But don't say that out loud if you're a communist.
I think it's best you make up your own mind now that you've met him. In my eyes, he is a capable organizer and a decent businessman. I guess you kind of get to be the village chief. He oversees.
By that, you mean corruption?
By heavens, why would he not be corrupt? We live in a harsh and disordered world, see? The old man is corrupt for our benefit, and we know it. Appreciate it even. He is, personally, not too lavish.
Настоящий аскет.
He is reasonably lavish, sure. That's his prerogative.
Ну, по сути,
It's
да.
not like
Если
he
он там
would simply
живет,
demeanor
то...
on a corrupt motherfucker. That would. Besides, there are no non-corrupt systems in the world.
Not you, you would like to say. But then, this man has political theory, and it has not failed him today.
Sure thing.
What is this? News of the world? Talk about personal stuff. Get to know
Зачем?
him.
Call me mañana. I'm just a
А,
humble
вот
harbor
кто
worker
момент.
for the past 6-7 years.
Mañana sounds like a mess word, but he doesn't actually look. Not a given name for certain. It's a taken name. The kind for artists, or criminals, or revolutionaries and the sort. An alias, a nom de guerre.
I'm not. I'm Vasoliero. Not all masks have the mask look either, you know. Things in the real world are a bit more fluid. Stuff ain't always what it appears to be.
Hmm.
And on the guerra would be more like guerra mañana.
Guerra mañana.
Now that we are getting so well acquainted,
Be honest with him.
wow, this is major. You're like a man born anew. Okay, so if you can't find it, maybe make up a new one?
Hmm.
Too bad. Can't live in this world without a good name, friend.
Damn.
Important things they are. Vessels of the soul. More a poetic thing. Any attempt to formulate a grand... That means I can't tell you
Я
about it.
прочитал ковидом.
I can only show you. You may understand in time. Or not. But it might be easy enough. Words guide our life. We commune with each thing through its word. Every word is also a name, is it not? Harry. It's cool. But I'm sure you could come up with something even cooler.
8%. Ну, сейчас какую-нибудь ахинею спиздану, блять, как обычно.
The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a... What a thought! Why would noble workers resort to such a thing? Your dead guy was an enemy combatant. He was an agent of the opposition, attempting to undermine our honorable efforts. I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me. Large organizations like our union have all sorts of men, with all sorts of skills.
He's not lying about not doing it himself.
Understood. This has been of limited use. Still, thank you.
No problem. I wish the best to you in your search. Sure, I'm glad it's not my search.
Ну давай спизданем что-нибудь.
Your mind can only conjure up hunk handy.
Голубых
Fucking
Энди.
Valdez.
Fucking
Oscar.
Вальдес.
You might want to decide to keep quiet about these.
Гарри. Меня зовут Рафаэль Амброзиус Куста.
Are you quite sure? Hold on, man. Keep it slow and steady. Don't succumb to fate. It can take time to come up with a really good one. There's no rush to find yourself.
Так, ну нам на задний двор, как я понял. Да. Ну мы идем, нет? Подожди, а с кем надо попиздеть? Рене про фотографию. Ты Рене?
Hello, compatriot. You have
Нет.
something to discuss? I don't know what you're talking about. Listen up, fuckwits. You don't scare me. You cops don't run Revachol West. You don't run Martinez. You don't run anything.
No. He means la puta madre.
A legendary, and not in a good way, crime boss from Jamrock. Looks like the lieutenant has a plan. Let him do this.
Yeah, him.
Then I presume you are familiar with his pair.
Yeah, they're his little bitches. He's got them all over the unions.
Not just the unions. He has peonies everywhere. Some say he even has them in the RCM. Dirty fucking peonies who'd do anything for him. 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕚.
The lieutenant adopts a 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕠 quality. Be cool, sire. He's getting into this.
You're not peonies. You wouldn't be investigating a drug.
No, of course not. We are not peonies. But if we were, and one of Madre's drivers were to be stealing from him, then it's a good peony's job to find out who that is.
He's surprisingly good at this. Not bad at all. Look at him lurching.
It's not a hard job. It won't take a long time. It won't make Padre Madre angry. But a stupid fucking racist is standing in the way, protecting this fucking thief.
I'm not scared of you or the mob. I'm under the protection of the Lorrymen and Carters Guild.
You've seen the corpse in the yard, yes? You took a peek. I know you did. Does it look like his friend's
Nah, you wouldn't just leave him out there if you...
The lieutenant turns and gives you I've softened him up as best I could. Now it's on. Be careful. This man's still got some fight in him by the looks of it. It won't be easy.
Не просто? Да ладно.
The main
Да
thing
ёбаный!
is to not overdo it, even when you're trying to scare someone. The most important thing
Ну,
is
72%.
how does it look, and of course, what social sensibilities you're bringing to the table. Remain sensitive. People are watching.
Oh yeah? And what goods are those? What is there to talk about? It's a racist world. I didn't make it that way.
Я хочу 72% теперь играть.
And you're a racist too.
We'll just have to ask someone else about the lady driver. Let's go.
Бля, можно загрузиться, умоляю?
𝔻𝕚𝕪𝕤𝕚 raise pupil.
Да-да. Я ж с этим еще не пиздел. Ёбаный насрал.
So,
You've been in there, he means. Talked to the boss.
it's but arrested. Right. You talk to the boss. I took a key, huh? Oh, I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. I knew this. What you're looking for is a...
Okay, but
The janitor. None of this mess we're in. This jiving and... I'm more of a...
He mean who he is and what they're fighting for.
We're negotiating... Aye. This stuff. They already covered.
Я не помню, что это.
Never grateful. Were we ever grateful, we'd have nothing. All of it.
This seditious talk sounds like communism. Just so we're...
I think it's best you make up your own mind now that you've met him. I guess you can...
by that,
By have the old man is corrupt for our benefit, and we know it. He is risk. Besides,
Not this man has political theory, and it has not...
sure thing.
What is this? News of the world? Talk about...
Los Ardis? They're sort of like you.
Is he... Come on. He's just trying to... The man whispers a jaunty tune.
Call me Mañana.
Mañana, not a given name for certain.
I'm not. I'm Vasoliero. Plenty to go around. Don't get greedy and try to... And on the... Now that...
Be honest with him.
Wow, this is major. You're like, too bad. Can't live in this world without a good name, friend. Important things they are. More a poetic thing. That means I can't tell you about it. I can only... Words guide our life. We commune... Harry. It's cool. But I'm sure you could come up. The mercenary, eh? What a thought. You're that guy. Wasn't I the murderer?
He's not like
Understood.
No problem. I wish the best to you in your search. Should I?
your mind can only conjure up hunk handy.
Are you quite sure? Hold on, man. Keep it slow and steady. There's no rush to find yourself.
Right, two.
Hello, compatriote. I don't know what you're talking about. Listen up, fuckwits. You don't scare me. You cubs don't run 𝔻𝕚𝕪𝕤𝕚𝕤 West. You don't run You're all bark and no bite. The real...
You mean La Put?
A legendary. Looks like
Yeah, him.
Then I...
Yeah,
Not just...
the lieutenant adopts.
you're not...
No.
He's
I'm...
You've seen...
Nah.
the loot. Be careful. This man's still got some fight in him, by the looks of it. It
Ну
would be
давай, ну
easy
давай, ну
to
давай.
men like
Есть.
this only respect two things: strength and
Быстро,
fear.
блядь, грузовик рулевой дамы. Где он?
Fuck you, I told you. I'm not gonna...
There. His voice grows smaller as yours.
Я буду ебать тебя до конца своих дней, ты понял?
Look, fuck you, man. It's 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤 down there. Green, banged up thing. I don't fucking...
When did she go away?
I don't know. I don't even know her name. She just rolls with the fleet and acts like a big shot. Some dyke, probably. I haven't even seen her for days.
Now it's not a big deal for him anymore. This is how he saves face.
Past the monument. Down there. The Green Temple. Now, leave me the fuck alone, okay?
A small temple by the monument. Green. Let's get into that.
Looks like he got his adrenaline up, too.
Пока, гнида. Учить кабину, принадлежащую этой женщине грузовика рядом со статуей. А, ну это откройте дверь, понятно. Подожди, а здесь что вообще такое?
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything. Wow. I didn't know you worked for the Union, sir. Anything else I can...
No, you don't work for the Union. The Union works for you by
Согласен.
supplying you with cash.
A warehouse? I don't know. Maybe. I don't really care what Frit does.
She looks up from under her brow.
Fine. Frit doesn't have a warehouse. Just a little back room here.
Ясно?
Okay.
Окей. Окей. Ну, понятно. Понятненько. Почему? Блин, это была бы такая неплохая пасхалочка к Саус Парку. Окей. Я имею в виду от людей, которые переводил на русский. Понятненько. Ясно? Окей. Хотя, с другой стороны, окей, это типа... Ну ладно, ладно.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They all bear the 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤 Pharmaceutics logo.
Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something. Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you... Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something. Okay, here. I hope Saint
Так,
Baptiste
все,
makes you
спасибо.
feel...
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says 1 bottle equals
No. You need tear to use the tear machine.
Как это?
A colorful display of
Again, I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health. No, Frit only sells legal drugs. The pale age vodka is special, I guess. It's stored in pale for a couple of years, which
Ну-ка,
makes you know.
сервис. You know.
I mean, I already said it'd hurt you. I don't know what else they do.
Спиды
Huh?
продают.
Speed. Like, speed. No. Frit.
Of course not. Frit is an establishment that acts within the law. Is that all, detective?
Спасибо. See ya. У меня чат работает, интересно. Так, зеленый грузовик. Это, кстати, его грузовик.
a lorry stuck.
Не надо. О, это музычка. Эй, баб.
Lowman, you caused
Да ладно, сиди. Вот и он.
This screen found A to Z, 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤𝕤𝕤, is parked in the shadow.
This must be the one he told us about. Unless he was lying.
The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out the door is locked. The handle looks shiny, like it's recently replaced.
Use the pry bar to smash the window. Open it from the inside. This has been hard enough. No need to make it any harder.
Слушай, я что-то не хочу, если честно. Давай-ка я сделаю так.
This screen found A to Z, content.
Ну, ясен. Я себе руку еще раз хуярил, да?
Hard swing at the window. A loud thunk rings out and the pry bar bounces back, leaving a tiny spider web on the glass. Looks like the window might be shatterproof. You may have to rethink your approach.
Еще раз, блять, я боюсь, я если разобью, или она мне в лоб отскочит, или еще какая-то хуйня.
No, it's not shatterproof. Give me that.
Лейтенант.
He smashes it into the window.
Что?
Droplets of glass fly everywhere, shattering over the lorry floor and pavement. You can just reach in now. The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals. These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens. One of them particularly catches your eye. A centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat. The actress is draped in a sheathed dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster. This is 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤𝕤𝕤, a starlet from the dawn of cinematography, less known for her talent than her tragic she wasted away in a drug den called Door to the River. Not far from here, on Boogie Street, a mixture of cocaine and morphine. The actresses and the rear actor all smile you. Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed, likely by the missing lady.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least. No, that's on 78.9. What? I happen to have committed the frequency to memory. I have no problem admitting that.
Speedpunk FM. А что он такое?
For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and UKV. Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation, with quite a range too. Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without a dial key.
The smell of 1,000 cigarettes, some dead. You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like, but one odd detail does catch your eye. Sandpaper adds extra grip.
Sandpaper? A novel technique?
The movie stars are still smiling from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a pull-out toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals. A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper. It's an issue of 𝔻𝕚𝕪𝕤𝕚 from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages.
Так.
It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the 𝔻𝕚𝕪 frequency system.
The 𝔻𝕚 frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
Зулан.
The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. The rest is as it was. Radio. You close the rusty old lorry door.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return to Joyce? All right, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep. Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade.
This means it's well funded. Technology like that, a major player must be financing it.
I'm not sure what the 𝔻𝕚 frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks. As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade. Yes, well...
Unimportant.
As elegant as... Yes, well...
Unimportant.
As elegant, I'm going to say no. We didn't find anything conclusive linking them to the smuggling operation. My suggestion is, we use it against the Union in any way we can, to our own end. We should return to the murder case. See, there are more than enough grounds to start it. The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome. All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either. Debrief over. After you.
Окей.
I saw you poking around in Lady Driver's lorry. She in trouble? It's that bad. Man, what should I do? What should I do to help her? Yeah, maybe I should just keep my head down. and work on my rhymes while I can.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
Now it's turning into a kind of...
Блин, проебал я.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out tool.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist 57?
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers.
Ты, закрыть дверцу. А может ты?
An old East Delta Commerce Center. This must be the name of the
А
doomed
здесь все уже
commercial area.
троганное.
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots, anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs, heavy workers' boots with reinforced toes and hobnails, all over. Isn't this something an industrial worker would wear?
Noted.
Eight pairs of boots have shuffled back and forth in the mud. Where else have we seen a gang of men in work boots? That's right, the hardy boys in the mess hall of Wellingham. 1. Standard work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 46. Just like Tart, is it? They didn't even bother to change boots. Putting them on the scene is easy. Maybe even 2. Standard work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 44. Either the blonde muscular guy, Glenn. 3. Hobnailed work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 43. 4. Standard work boot, number 45, or 5. Another standard work boot, reinforced toes, number 44, same as before. 6. Light as air, same make of boot,
Ноги
but
красивые.
number 41. Small like a rat, shanky. 7. The glowing outline of a standard work boot, number 46. The imprints are twice as deep as 8. Another standard work boot, number 44. There's an aberration in the pattern of
7 sets of tracks, right? The Hardy Boys were here. That's all? Interesting. Then one of them seems to be missing. Anything else out of the ordinary?
Note to self. This would be a good question to ask Titus. A leader like Titus doesn't let one of his guys out of sight easily, especially at a time like this.
I'm guessing that's the skinny Hardy Boy. The one with his front teeth missing. Yes, well, he did look a bit like a rat, you're right. Do you think those prints belong to him? Maybe you're right and it's someone else. Although I doubt it. 200. This could be the combined weight of 2 people, one carrying the other who's tied up. Let's say a heavily built worker carrying a similarly built armored man? Maybe.
He might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight is unlikely.
Possibly, yes.
But why?
Yes, they could have used a makeshift stretcher or just
Maybe the carrier wanted to impress his peers, demonstrate his physical might.
You have a point there. Anyway, it's something to consider. What else can you see? Interesting. Let's name it the Old Soul. I wouldn't be surprised if this was the missing Hardy boy. Wonder who he is.
Oh, this one's easy. Way too easy. It's a driver.
With a piece of sandpaper glued to the throttle. Which means that the missing lady driver was also present at the lynching? That's it. She's the Old Soul. Now we know who's the missing 8th person at the lynching. Do you think that Hardy and his boys could also be involved in the drug operation? Understood. We should still go and see what Titus Hardy has got to say on the matter. This might throw them off, work in our advance. A week, maybe? 7 days would fit the time frame provided.
It is not impossible.
I pulled last week's forecast for coastal 𝔻𝕚𝕬𝕤𝕚. 7 days below freezing. The day before, the day of his hanging, was the last warm day.
Удобно, когда следы заморозились.
Correct again. Sub-zero temperatures would preserve the tracks in a good state. The commotion here could have taken place a week ago.
What do I think? A mob of people brought something heavy to the tree. One of them was carrying the victim. They shuffled around. Then, after hoisting him up, they stood in a semicircle facing his direction. At first glance...
Indeed, they all stood in a row here and looked at the tree.
So far, so good. Only one thing missing.
Of course, there were 8 tracks, but there are only 7 Hardy boys.
Which one is missing, do you think? I'm going to say it was our Old Soul. Yes. I doubt the Hardys are going to tell us much, but we should still confront them about the possible drug trade connection.
𝔻𝕚𝕫𝕤𝕚𝕞.
Опа.
It's not only your eardrums that register sound anymore. Your very skin has become an organ of hearing. Looking for a whisper light and low. A god who's very, very silent. Nothing escapes you.
Блин,
A
мне нужна
cockroach in the
энциклопедия.
other room. A candy wrapper falling on dry grass. A drunk falling from a chair.
𝔻𝕚𝕫𝕚𝕤𝕚. И что?
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite. It's nothing. Someone just left some roofing material slanted against an old shack. Because there's a secret door hidden behind the panels of Eternite. There it is. You see a shabby little door.
Не громко ли?
What is this then? A tool shed? Let's investigate.
Давай, сперва только. Кет.
Kuno's got this.
If there ever was such a thing as an ugly kid, then this is it. He's almost exquisite.
Может, он еврей?
Oh yeah, Nappa Gumpy, Kuno!
Can't talk, pig. Shit's coming up strong. Throwing rocks.
Shit coming up strong. That sounds good. Joyous. You should hang out with this kid and see what that juicy shit is all about. I mean drugs.
Yeah, Kuno, ride the light!
Kuno's riding it, see?
The rake! You should throw the rake at
The fuck? Does Kuno know what a rake is? Kuno's not a gardener.
We shouldn't do anything. I don't. You will see.
The language these kids are using, pure unfettered id. There will be no
Id?
reasoning with those creatures.
The fuck are you talking about?
He's calling us Kuno! He says we're fucking each other!
Кем? Что это? Да какая-то там цензура стоит? Что за режим детектива? Что за цензура? Уберите нахуй цензуру. А, пидорами. Я думал, что это слово, блядь. Это для Твича, наверное, сделано.
Fuck no! Kuno doesn't buy that shit. Fucking entrapment shit. Alright, entertain the Kuno. Show me what you got. What you got there? What you got, huh? Show me what you got. Kuno's Kuno, pig?
It's always Kuno, never I. Clearly the kid's using the third-person perspective as a shield.
Yeah, Kuno's in a fucking gang. In a bang gang. Kuno bangs for Magie.
He lays the names out there with pride and precision, like cards on a table. Right when he's getting distracted, there's a malevolent hiss behind the fence.
Watch out, Kuno! He's trying to fiddle you! He's gonna put his hands on you!
Существо за забором начинает верещать.
Help! Pig's got Kuno! Help! Rape!
Help! He's got the Kuno, help! Help! He's digging his dick out!
Escalate, Kuno! His dick is out! You
Pigs in here, Kuno! Somebody, please!
How did we get here? How did this happen? This makes no sense. There may still be a way out. Just appeal to his reason.
Да.
No!
The nearly psychopathic way they could slip in and out of the act implies you're not the first.
No one? Kuno's doing this because he likes it, pig.
This is where Kuno establishes dominant. Change of plan. You can't let that happen. It will make things harder down the line. You may end up.
Help! The pig's gagging him! Kuno can't speak!
Fucking logical! Help! The logical pig is fiddling Kuno!
You put him up to this yourself when you decided to talk to him in a...
Listen to your friend.
Желтый пузыристый. Ты под наркотой, чел.
Kuno owns the fat ass. Help! The RCM is trying to fuck Kuno!
Не бить его — это плохая идея.
Help! Misters, help!
He's having the time of his life. Total ecstasy. Fuck the pig.
He's flashing Kuno! He's showing his genitals! If you don't help Kuno now, it'll be too late!
Может, его монтировкой пиздадуть? Блин, не хочу его пиздить.
Look.
For emphasis, a ghost is saying this. A shit-eating psychopath.
I know you wanted to hit me. You got that I'm gonna fuck that Kuno up look that Kuno's dad gets.
Relax. He can't read your mind. He doesn't know there's a dead body, remember? That's what you were doing here. You're a cop on a case.
I know what you thought. I'm gonna fuck that Kuno up. I'm gonna shut that shit down. You're nothing. You're a joke to Kuno. Kuno laughs at you. King Kuno!
Backing up was a bad idea. Now he thinks he's established dominance over you.
Kuno turned you into his prison, bitch! You're gonna be in this shit with Kuno!
Куна и Куно.
No, you're not. We can just leave.
Bitch, you're gonna be in this shit with Kuno forever!
A peepo is a type of hat, by the way.
You don't talk to me about my fucking peeper! You don't know where I come from! You just Kuno's bottom bitch!
Okay, Kuno is kind to his bitch. Ask your questions, but remember, this changes shit.
Click, 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 click!
Маленькая тварь за забором.
Fucking right, pig. Kuno's filling bathtubs with that shit. Kuno's a kingpin. Fuck no, pig. Kuno ain't dealing to the popo. Not doing the pork pen for your...
Belying the act, he's actually telling the truth. Or at least 0.00001% of it. You need to befriend him first.
Shitload, pig. What's your question?
Don't tell the pig shit, Kuno!
If I were to want to waste my time...
The usual being. Have you seen anything out of the ordinary? Or have you seen...
Kuno's fuck imp. Kuno uses the fuck imp for target practice.
He's trying to hide the fact that he doesn't know.
Kuno knows what you meant. Kuno's not a snitch. That's all. Trying to make Kuno sing into the popo phone. Probably climbed. Kuno was busy down the road when that shit went down. You heard Kuno. Kuno wasn't even in Martinez. Kuno wasn't in Revachol. Kuno wasn't regional. I don't know. Some fucking... Mesk or I don't know. Some other place. Night City. Kuno was in fucking Night City.
Че? Какой, блядь, Найт Сити?
There is no Night City anywhere. That sounds like the name of a city in some pulp science fiction novel.
Ой.
Kuno gives this info out on a need-to-know basis, and you...
Thanks, Kuno. That's one name you can now cross off the list.
Just a couple of pigs sniffing around in the dirt. That seems pretty fucking suspicious to Kuno.
Yeah, you tell the faggoty Kuno!
Looks like you're a fagari now, whatever that means. The suspicious question doesn't really work in antagonistic situations.
Probably... You heard Kuno. I don't know. Mesco.
There is no night city anywhere.
Why you gotta be riding Kuno's ass? You wanna know where Kuno was?
Don't tell him that!
It's not fucking lame. Kuno.
Lame!
That's the name of Kuno City, bitch. Get the fuck off Kuno's back. This shit ain't a...
It's impossible to deduce what it is about, at least for...
You're testing...
Get lost!
Right, pig. This is where Kuno plays with his little wooden choo-choo. What do you want with it? Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. You found Kuno's secret door to Kuno's secret shack. It was closed for 5,000 years. How the fuck did you get in? Shit. Get the fuck out.
You can't do that, Kuno.
Pigs can't displace. Can't do that teleport. How did you like it in there, pig old boy? Kuno's got a lot of cool shit there, right? Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom.
Ну, мне не получится. При всем желании. Что?
It's Kuno-S.
Fuck you whispering about?
He's whispering too. He's going with it. But watch what happens.
Fuck you, whispering about.
She puts extra stress onto that word, expecting it will make you uncomfortable.
If Kuno wants to whisper, he's gonna fucking whisper, okay? Let's whisper, pig.
This is it. You've got him. But be careful. You can still fuck this up. Don't make Kuno look bad in this.
It's okay. The pig's trying to pit us against each other. Not gonna let him do that.
That's it. You let him off the line. That was a bad, manipulative thing to say. You should understand. I
Блядь.
got you this far.
Гниль мелкая.
I couldn't get you all the way.
Шпаль.
Try to fuck my Kuno. Try to fuck my Kuno away. Me and Kuno are tight.
Ну, второй раз-то у меня не получится.
He's on your
Конечно.
crime scene, bossing you around. And he's been here for some time too. This is where he hangs out. You have to get more out of him. He could be useful.
No! You told him about it and now he knows your name.
This city is not fucking lame. You are lame. Kuno's tired of and fuck you too, putting Kuno on the spot like that. Kuno doesn't need to fucking explain his shit. Kuno's king. He rules here. Fuck did you want?
Explain himself? As if explaining some kind of work? Some kind of avant-garde work way ahead of it. You must get to the bottom of this one of these days. Sadly, it's unlikely to happen today.
The fuck do you... Good call, Pigmeister. Don't the fuck about it. Your test...
Get lost.
Kuno doesn't...
This trash container is locked. The slide, there's something in there, not necessarily connected to the case, but still. Maybe you're prioritizing it. The lieutenant leans in to inspect the lock.
We could try using a pry bar, the one you took from my motor carriage, or we might want to ask for a key from the manager of the Whirling in Rags. He probably has one, and he also has information.
3%. Понятно. Дай попробуй.
This trash container is force time isn't happening. You've jammed the pry bar under the lid, but it just isn't bending.
The quality of metal is not the problem.
He's enjoying your little failure. He finds it amusing. He's reveling in sweaty rage on your face. There's a creaking sound as the pry bar slips under the lid. You hang from it like a moron, huffing and puffing. Unsatisfying, hurtful.
Let's ask the manager for the key.
Я еще раз хочу взломать. Я нахуя? Там 3%, блядь. Хотя у меня с 17 получилось.
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid forced
Не ожидаем.
isn't happy. He's enjoying your little failure. He finds it.
Let's ask the manager.
А тебя ты чё? Ты гнида.
Kuno, the pig's getting pretty close to me. Looks like it's time for me to go, Kuno. Pig's come to take me in. I'm going away for a long, long time, Kuno.
What's going on there? Fuck are you trying to pull, pig?
Murder was the case they gave me.
А ну, говори со мной,
I'll die
тварь.
before I squeal. What's this kid shit? Fucking mind games. I'd rather die than...
Get the fuck out of here, Fee.
Нет.
I'll die before I squeal. I come from the woods, good Davidu. You don't want to go...
Don't be chump.
Да завали ты ебло свое,
I'll
блядь.
die before I squeal. You don't want to fuck with me. I got...
You can still see the top of her hat from behind the...
Чё?
I'll die before I squeal.
Ах ты маленькая шлюха. Уф, я подустал. Полчасика, наверное, еще и пойду отдыхать. Ебануться.
Amphetamine. Sweet amphetamine. Maybe the lieutenant isn't studying the powder in the mirror. He's studying. There's a good vague way to ask where he stands on drug use. Professionally, I mean.
Perhaps not. This is below our pay grade, detective. However, see that ladder there? It's probably another way into the industrial harbor, no?
Да ладно тебе, ну чё ты... Блядь. Засушенная голова свиньи. What you gonna do, pig? Huh? What you gonna do? Так. Ага, вот и... Вот. Не-не, сюда сперва, сюда. Да, возьми. Что это? Открытка. А ну что за открытка? Не, какая-то. Теперь сюда. Это что? А, деньги? На сигареты, да? Еще деньги.
Yes?
Ну и это все. Охуенно погуляли, потусили. съебываем. Ого, как месяц переместился уже, охуеть. Так, мне на задний двор бы. А вообще, знаешь... Вообще, знаешь, что, маленькая эта тварь, а?
Fuck does Kuno care?
Пошел
Kuno
нахуй.
doesn't.
Нахуй пошел. Что это?
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic. Hard to say. Cop habit. This isn't case related. The tire tracks were left here by an unknown event that took place some days ago. It's a mess. Some of that rubber stuck to the tiles right in front of the whirling in rags. This is point A, and then accelerated straight into the fence, left a hole big enough for the Franco-Nigerian cavalry, according to the cafeteria manager. Why that pang of guilt again? The hole in this fence doesn't look that huge. He was exaggerating. People blame cops for everything. The driver proceeded to back out of the yard, barely stopping before heading south. Must have been in a hurry.
You are correct. This is a rather motor carriage-friendly city.
Somehow that makes you feel scared.
I'm not sure. There are plenty of traffic accidents waiting to happen.
You could follow the track south. There seems to be a canal there. See where they went. If
Ну да, но хуй знает, куда они поехали, блядь. Итак.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time? I suggest not wasting time on trivial pleasantries and focusing on why you are acting.
even though she has excellent control over herself, something moved behind her eyes, in the way she stands, in her face. You caught her off guard. Push her some more.
You are not here to chat up the legal counsel. You are here to question these.
You set the pace and the topic of these conversations here. Establish that. A man like 𝔻𝕝𝕪𝕤𝕚 could have said anything. Do not be restrained, sire.
I am a legal counsel. Don't make this personal.
A very minor victory.
Тоже победим с тобой.
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
Привет, с тобой не о чем поговорить.
Can I help you? Mine? No, it belongs to the...
Thank you for clearing that up. Why do you keep the container?
Why? To keep the hobos and drunks out. That's why. And the neighbors too. They put their trash there and they don't...
I thought as much. And are you the only party?
Well, yes. Us and...
It seems a little callous, doesn't it? Something stirs in you. Prod at him and find out.
What do you need them?
It concerns the case. Please cooperate.
Just bring them back once you're done, please.
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging your presence. The mention of mañana gets his attention. He smiles and delivers a whole slew of their friends. The man says a couple of sentences in that strange... I'm pretty sure he asked you a question. He doesn't know your language. You can just say something cool in return.
Horse need more vodka?
Okay, so it's vodka that keeps the men happy and in good spirits.
Как вау! Водка в борщ. Ну, клюква.
Vodka borscht! I love it, Bratan! Turn it the fuck up and then ask for some yourself!
Turning it up seems like a dangerous idea, honestly. The place is a powder keg. The cook gives you a long, disappointed look, then turns the stove off and seems to wait for you to speak.
Speak Revacholian? We speak Suren. There is no such thing as the Revacholian language.
Dialect.
But don't...
The cook is still smoking, ash falling from between his fingers. His...
Good thing he didn't understand a word of your stupidity.
О, новый левел. Окей. А эта дверь открыта ведь?
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's the door does not, the door does not budge.
А у кого? У тебя ключи?
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging. He looks up at you. Shrugging is an international sign for no, I...
Пойдем мусорный бак потрогаем.
This trash container is with a well-oiled crack. The lock pops open. Don't. Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you shouldn't. Of course you should. This is your time to shine, Hobo Cop. Dive into that dumpster for extra content. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
You see milk, an egg rest with one broken egg in it, some pasta wrapper. Picking up the soggy packages, a box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below. And, Turbo, among the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your eye. As the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage, a rank corpse smell. Are these the victim's clothes? The smell is not nearly as bad as the cadaver. These clothes could...
Cadaverine odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in the early stages. Drop them in here, officer. Guitar marked blue jeans. Pockets empty or emptied. He wore them with a belt, too, a white belt. The loops appear stretched, but... The belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there?
Something slimy catches your eye. A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste, dripping with pus.
This is a military-type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light armor to conceal it in an urban city.
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. Just garbage.
All right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or that one. I'd advise against confronting that force. Not really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash, the lid was locked, and his establishment had the key. It's just a small loose thread.
The fuck's he on about, kids? You hear that, Kuno? He thinks you're an infant or something.
See?
The lieutenant nods. Then it's just organic waste, cold and slimy on your hands. Apple and potato peels, mostly. Nothing. It's nothing. Nothing more to see here. What's this? A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny. Looks like the corner of something. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes written in a man's handwriting.
Officer, is that your paperwork? It is. Look, the plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form in there. If you don't mind my asking, how could you have let your paperwork end up in the trash? What are you talking about? Doeth thou also thorough inventories? You should take stock of your notes. Make sure it's all there. Official notes contain informants' names. If some of it has fallen into the hands of the RCM's adversaries, bloodletting may well ensue.
Да блин.
It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Now, tell me what your eagle eyes see. Or are we finished?
Wow, an armistice caliber 50 knock cannon, half wrapped in paper tissues. Never mind, look at that fat string of archipelagon pearls snaking amidst the... And is that Cordon Electric's preamp with Electra F2 tubes? It is. That catches quite a price. We're talking 12,000, easy, unless you're into hi-fi yourself. That's too bad, because none of those things are actually in there. There's just food waste and crisp wrappings. All you see is a broken mug with a racist depiction of the yellow man frolicking in saffron. There's nothing more of interest. The container sounds a muffled gong.
That's one thing off the list. I think we got it all.
It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Not much. Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed-away mug that you dug out of the garbage? If you want to earn some change by guilting people, go for it. But if you want to earn real dough, the worn map features the patchwork grid of the streets of... It's just a racist mug, but...
Прочитайте журнал регистрации, выберите название для дела. А где мой журнал регистрации? Да он...
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the fact there's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's a metaphor. Below the pathetics, terror. Do not look into its blue. It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want. If you want it to be kitchen tissue, it's not though. It's toilet paper. Still wet, the toilet paper, I mean kitchen tissue, sorry, peels off the plastic easily. Or an aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, looks like an official mark, made to be low visibility out.
What? That thing. It's a halogen watermark. We use it for adding information to RCM property. It depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my
Maybe yours will have how many cases you've solved. How many years you've been on the force, he's thinking. It'll have that.
Any capable light with the right wavelength will do. All RCM vehicles have had lights designed to reveal halogen watermarks.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
Okay.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the they're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol and covered in... Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, case files commit to paper. Work, strife, Poverty. The Jamrock Quarter. It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average. There is, for precisely 1 more. 15. Once all the tasks are accomplished, the case is complete. Sadly, the ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It's unfitting of this The lieutenant looks at his blue notebook. 2 fat, shiny pens. It's downright incriminating. He has little choice but to give you one. He is not really saying anything, just standing there, looking at them.
Know that I give this to you with resentment.
The tasks you've completed flow out of the blue oblong pen in a brash freehand, uncannily similar to the rest of the letters. The word inspect the victim, interview the cafeteria man. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place. A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is a...
No, actually. Any ideas?
Демоны ярости живут в зеркалах.
Curious. Yes, well, I don't know. I have to be honest. I'm not experiencing the Could you make it less poetic somehow? Just a normal...
Yes, yes. You know what that normal name is. But it's so plain. Anything else, please.
Другого названия я не придумал.
Oh, well, then maybe I can suggest one.
Так я когда повешенный?
Oh, that's actually what I was thinking. The Hanged Man. I like that. A good, strong name. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, a title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from snoop fiction and vespertine cop show staples. Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World. Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the hookah parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout. It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done...
Huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes. 2? That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me. I prefer a normal caseload. It's a matter of method.
Like a fan of gills, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
Yes, how very childish of you. In your and my defense, almost everyone in the RCM uses the titular... It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists. Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one, the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death, I pray his loved ones never find out. Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was...
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now. In the back, you see thin, translucent copier paper. Some neon yellow, some bright. Then rip them from the binder and hand them out. 3. The topmost are misconduct fines. The middle ones are station calls. And the bottommost are... You don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work. A dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased human form, waiting to be... These are quite sinister in turn. They give a date and time, all in a print so small it could be considered downright a monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 200. But they appear pleasantly vague. Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand... What delicious power hid within this pathetic mess. You feel better. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light blue. The blue heart. Don't look into it. Something rattles inside, ever so lightly, and something small inside. Light, made of paper or car. Permeables. It's not hidden per se. The compartment is made for permeable materials that would get damaged if some... The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot see to its center. With your hands, U4-sized pages hang from the clip, screwed to the top of the board.
Блин, 58.
The acidic stench of rotting food is rubbed off on the cellulose. It now forms the base of the experience. This base, you know, like the bits they put into public piss bowls, probably called Fermi discrete, or axle, or something. At some point in its journey, the ledger has seen the inside of a public toilet. If you knew it was dunked in the toilet before getting chucked into the trash, why are you sniffing it? Torturing your own nose for no reason is not conducive to case cracking, but... Yeah, turns out your nose doesn't like self-indulgent literal shit huffing. Quelle fucking surprise.
Ну-ка, я уберу журнал, сохранюсь и попробую еще раз.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage.
Oh.
The two sides of the board appear slightly misaligned, like a drawer that's come off its slides. The slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just, you know, without resistance or sound. 2 ticket stubs and a handmade postcard. 2 octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil drawings. The tickets permit access to the zoo in Revachol East. The aquarium costs extra. These let you go there too. The words just crossed your mind somehow. You see 2 ticket stubs and a handmade card.
Что за хуйня?
Thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling when you pick it up. You see violet. It smells of chewing gum. A touch of cinnamon. The end of summer. You think the label says, familiar handwriting lines the inside of the card. Luke, a young woman in her 20s. There is care, effort, and a smile. You think, Harry, it begins. You're already reading. I wanted to write. Throw it away, please. A merciful wind blows in from the bay of Revachol, dusting the ground at your feet and raising new frisson covers your entire body, a feeling of cold, a persistent chill. Your hands shake, holding onto it. Every morning when I step out, you're asleep. Every step I take, it grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me entirely. You. Every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes me run. Kisses, kisses, kisses. You feel the air sucked out of your lungs and the blood sucked out of your head. Everything around you feel the ledger slip from your hand.
Чё?
No. Hold on. To what? There's...
Detective, is there...
Что произошло, нахуй? Я прошел игру? Чё?
There is nothing. Again. Well, almost nothing. There is the ground below you. That's me. Blue eyes, that's me. Is it? The world is gone. You are no...
A bitter caustic sense of loss remains.
The call when you're
Here in the 𝔻𝕚𝕪𝕤𝕚 cortex, because it's always there.
Tell him. Tell him.
Ah, yes. In the olfactory system, they call it the apricot chewing gum.
Yeah, man. Fuck everything. Total blackout forever. Bloated corpse of the past resurfacing. Don't prod at it. It will start moving. There is no Voyager road. There are no roads, no how. Your name?
It certainly ain't Harry. Your name?
You think they would let you? Until you disintegrate into...
Yes. They're pouring something on you.
It's delicious. Glowing lights on a dashboard emerge out of nothingness. In the upholstered cabin of Lieutenant Kitsuragi's motor carriage, seated in the driver's basket.
Drink. Water.
The water is cold, silvery, the stuff of life itself, as it pours down your parched throat.
Drink. You haven't drunk water in 2 days. Did you know the human body is not made to survive on alcohol alone? You
Ну, на
need
самом
a
деле,
similar
оно
form
может
of
выжить на
hydration.
алкоголе.
With greedy gulps, you down half a liter of cold water. Some of it spills on the driver's seat. The lieutenant...
What happened? You were reading your paperwork. Then you passed out. I carried you to my 𝔻𝕚𝕤 to take you to a hospital. 10 minutes, maybe. That does sometimes happen.
He replies with such understanding, it's as if the burnt-out ruins of the past were an occupational hazard.
You dropped these. Are you okay to proceed? Good.
Блять, что со мной было? Маленький человек становится все дальше. Бонус. Ручка.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers.
Стоп. Я дочитаю журнал и закончу, наверное, на этом.
It's the ledger you without resistance or sound. The two panels move against each other. You stare at the card, willing your hand to move. It refuses. It's too. You stare at. It's slightly, ever so slightly, difficult to breathe one. Yes, you can piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. It always begins with HDB 41. Then, date of initialization and time of arrival. Why, yes, every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are you, Harry Dubois, HDB. Still feels like there's something missing from that. No, can't you see the sire is tired of these fabrications? RAC is clearly what it says on the case files. These are official documents. There is no arguing with official document. Fine, it takes about half an hour for you to piece one together. Mr. Raphael, which one do you want?
Блять, Иван в неожиданном месте хочу.
Some assholes brought their couch outside and hung out on it. In the middle of the street, on the roof, on the hillside by the motorway. You know, at an unexpected location. They were young, yes, as you said here, insufferable rock and roll assholes. Young people, they were leaving it out in all these unexpected and whimsical locations. They took it too, where they also took photos of them, cigarette butts, coffee cups, stupid couch. No, you didn't have time for that. It would be very interesting to read about these, wouldn't it? I mean, there seems to be a square-shaped entry wound in the victim's forehead. That's all you got. From the half hour you spent piecing it together, all you know is the entry wound. Who knows? Those pages. Don't worry. One day you may still catch the man with the AKA Leslie and Burke, AKA the public indecency drunk and the Leslie will always take his pants off when he's drunk. Burke will the only way for Leslie to stop flashing his genitals to bypassers and for Burke to stop dismantling signage, and you would think that, but you're wrong. Where's the fun in exposing? Can you keep yourself off the streets? Threatening fines, dragging them to the station, locking them up in the hellholes they live. It's plain to see from the files that you,
Блин, я прям не могу оторваться. Надо заканчивать.
and Special Consultant TH had more important cases to attend to. You uncover cross-reference. Good, you're learning. If the files are to be trusted, that's all there is to it. He must have it confused with the property he likes to damage. But the joke, in the process, the ledger sustains damage. The compartment within, reserved for permeable documents, is jammed. He came at us, and at us. I think he was trying to kill Burko. While trying to kill, can't get out of his apartment, an invalid. With Burke to tend to, Leslie cuts back on the indecent exposure. Maybe, which is also why the officer responsible narrowly escapes. Does that sound like a Raphael something Costo to you, sir? Fine then, you've earned it.
Yeah.
This one is relatively easy to reconstruct. Overnight on 1202, a graffito, nay, a mural, appears on a cause of failure, rent too high. The mural is enormous. Two silhouettes, a man and a woman. Our true love is possible only in the next world. For new people, it is too late for us. Wreak havoc on the middle class. People call it that thing and that fucking thing. The graffito crew is easy to track down. Only the belles-lettres have the literage of industrial paint to cover the surface. One of the graffito artists is rumored to be rich. The case files do not show you The crew agrees to clean up after themselves. However, your partner, JV, is the 9,000 people subjected to the mural's message, all of Lakeside, Central Jamrock, and Villa Lobos, plus half of the eminent domain. A staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it. Turns out the opposition were a loud minority, and that love truly is possible in the next world for new people, and it is too late for us. Did someone ask what you believe in, man with the smelly toilet ledger? What do you... Murder. Tum-tum-tum at the hookah parlor. Was a case originally assigned to an officer called Joseph Mills, who is now dead.
Я не знаю, что кальянная на
Circumstances
английском так.
completely unconnected to murder at the hookah parlor. Beaten to death by a throng of Villa Lobos gang members when him and his partner, Joseph Mills, was on this case that he just couldn't solve, was doing it solo. Said it was a real nutcracker, a real... Mills didn't get off the pot. Not yet. He kept at it for a couple of weeks more, racking his brains. No, he was awful. Awful sense of humor, too. The worst jokes you've ever heard. Really rapey. Still, okay, so the case is handed to you because Mills isn't getting anywhere, and you look into it. Here's the setup. A young man is found dead in a hookah parlor. You know, those places where you go and smoke bubblegum-flavored vapor all day. Yeah, so anyway, young man in his 20s found with his skull busted open, right on the floor of the hookah parlor, in the middle of the day. No one else is in. No one enters. No one exits. He's just sucking on his watermelon hookah all morning, all noon, like he usually does. Mills has no idea. Invisible assassin. Movie deal gone sour. Girl at the counter did it. Nothing fits. Eerie. Man just dropped dead. So you see, you can't even read the thing without solving it. Yeah, it was that. Turns out hookah does do something. Smoking hookah. Didn't you hear? I don't know. Trying to come up with a movie script, maybe. Anyway, not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch.
Так, ну хватит. У меня голова уже загудела. Плохая штука. Стоп, а что здесь?
𝔻𝕚𝕪𝕤𝕚.
Так.
Bad news. 𝔻𝕚𝕚𝕤𝕚 did not become a cop. In 38, he went on a tour to the 𝔼𝕚𝕚 province in Safre, where he died of autoerotic asphyxia.
А что, мне не хватает? Так, сохранить игру. Сохранить. Все, теперь выходим.